Hey guys, excuse the noise if you hear any. I have relatives over and they're in the other room, but today's video is going to be a prom makeup tutorial, and I have to make this intro really short because the video itself is kind of long, but bear with me. I think this is really pretty. I made it so it was suitable for all eye colors and everything like that. Also, I'm going to be doing a part 2, which is some tips for photographed makeup, like if you're getting your pictures done, what might be some good tips for your makeup. So stay tuned for that next week. I hope you guys all have a really good prom. So I'm starting off with my favorite primer at the moment, and it's from the drugstore, so it's even better, and it's the Rimmel Fix and Perfect primer. This stuff, I'm so happy that I fell in love with a drugstore primer rather than a high-end, because I don't really want to spend a lot of money on one. So just dot this all over your face and work it in. I'm using my CoverGirl Outlast 3-in-1 foundation on a Sigma F50, but any stipple brush will work, and I'm going to use the stipple brush for a more airbrushed look. Concealer, I'm using Rimmel Wake Me Up. This is my favorite drugstore concealer because it really just is awesome under the eyes because it erases any dark circles. Next, I'm using my favorite powder. I ran out of my Rimmel Stay Matte, and I purchased this because I just needed a powder like ASAP, and it's only $3, and I love it. It's the e.l.f. Translucent Mattifying Powder. This keeps you matte for so long, and it's translucent, so it's not going to make you look cakey or anything, or add any extra coverage that you don't need. Next is bronzer. I'm using this Rimmel Sun Shimmer bronzer, and I actually didn't use up that much. It cracked out. And this bronzer says Sun Shimmer, but it is actually 100% matte, so don't be fooled by the name. For blush, I'm using the Maybelline Dream Bouncy Blush in Hot Tamale. This is a really so gorgeous matte corally pinky color that I love so much, and I'm just going to be using it on the same blush brush that I just briefly washed. And the way I apply this is I just rub it in there like this really lightly, and it gets on the end of the brush. And I just use a light hand to apply this because they're really pigmented. And I just smooth it out with my finger afterwards. And I start on like the outer edge of my cheek and I work it into the apples of my cheeks. Keeping the face matte is really important, but I am going to be applying a bit of this highlighter from Hard Candy. It's my favorite highlighter. It's their So Baked Bronzer in Tiki, which is what I use as a highlighter with a crease brush. I'm going to just take a bit of this and only place it on the tops of my cheekbones. I normally highlight my nose and like my forehead and stuff, but not for pictures. That isn't going to look good at all. So just stick with light hand on the tops of the cheekbones. For eyes, primer is essential just like the face. I have a drugstore and a high-end. My favorite high-end primer is Too Faced Shadow Insurance. It is kind of expensive, but I don't go through these very fast. This lasts me a really long time, but if you're still like, that's too much money, Essence I Heart Stage eyeshadow base is really great, and I know it's hard to find Essence in some countries, but it is a really, really great one if you can get it. For the eyes, I'm going to be doing a look that would look great on any eye color, but if you have blue eyes, this is really, really, really going to complement you. So I'm using my Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, and I'm sorry to blind you again with this mirror. But I'm starting off with the shade Half Baked, which is also in the Naked 1 palette, so you don't need the Naked 2 palette to achieve this look. And the reason why I'm packing this down instead of spreading it all over is because we applied our under eye concealer, and you don't want any eyeshadow to get down in there because it's a mess to get out. Taking a smaller brush, this is a pencil brush. I'm just going to use the shade Booty Call, which is just a shimmery light pink. But if you don't have the Naked palettes, any shimmery white highlight color, just to really open up the eye. I think it's really pretty. In the crease, we're sticking with all matte shades, and I'm using this Wet n Wild Color Icon Trio in On Cloud 9. I'm not using any of the blues. I'm just using the matte brown in the middle because it is probably the most pigmented, pretty matte brown I have ever seen, and it's from the drugstore. So I'm using this E70 brush, which is like a medium angled shader brush, into this dark brown, and I am basically just going to push that into the outer crease and a bit on the outer lid. And I'm going to do that to the other side as well. To brighten up the eyes a bit more, I'm using the Rimmel Scandalized Kohl in Nude in my waterline. This just looks so much better than a black or a brown in the waterline. I'm using the Physicians Formula Hazel Eyes Gel Eyeliner Set, and I'm using the brown eyeliner because I feel like you don't need a black. It doesn't have to be that harsh, but this is going to be really pretty. For your prom, you're going to want to apply loads and loads of mascara. My favorite drugstore mascara at the moment is Maybelline the Falsies Flared or Maybelline the Rocket. I just decided to use this one today just to use it up. So you're going to want to apply lots of coats of mascara. I'm also just going to set my eyebrows with some clear gel since I don't fill them in, but if you do normally fill them in, then just do that however you would. For the lips, I have a ton of suggestions. Because this eye is quite smoky and dramatic, I think the best option for prom is definitely just a Your Lips But Better color. I have a high-end option. This is the Makeup Forever lipstick, the Rouge Artist Natural in N18, which is just a really pretty mauve-y pink, just a nice Your Lips But Better color. This is $22, so I can understand if you don't want to pick this up. It is quite expensive, but Maybelline just came out with a new color in their Color Whispers line. It's Lust for Blush. If you have the Color Whispers, I'm sure you have this color because it's one of the most popular ones. So there is a drugstore option that I really, really like as well. Also, if you're wanting a bit of a color, the L'Oreal Color Rouge Balms are really comfortable to wear with a really sheer wash of color. This color is Caring Coral, and it is so pretty on the lips. I really, really like it. So there are a couple of options for you. For lipstick, really nice, but I think for today I'm going to use the Color Whisper in Lust for Blush just because I really like this one a lot. I think I'm just going to leave this as is because it is a pretty glossy lip product and I really like it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial.